Hello everybody, my name is Tanya and today we're going to talk about Monkey Grip. So Monkey Grip by Helen Garner was the first book that I read for my Booktube Recommends Project. I'll leave a link to the video about that down below. So this book was recommended to me by the wonderful Sophie from Sophie the Uneducated Reader, and again all her links will be down in the description. Sophie is a fellow Aussie and she has recommended to me a classic Australian novel. Helen Garner is a very well known and well respected Australian author, and I had not read anything by her before reading this, which was rather disgraceful. So Monkey Grip is set in Australia in the 1970s, specifically it's largely set in and around Melbourne, which is very close to where I live. So there are a lot of local place names that are mentioned, both within Melbourne, so there's a lot of streets and places that are mentioned that are very familiar to me. But even more than that, there are towns that are very close to where I am that are mentioned, and it was fun kind of spotting those and recognising exactly the kind of places that they're talking about. I'm really having trouble putting together my thoughts and my feelings about this one. I absolutely adored the start of this, really enjoyed the start, and while I continue to enjoy it and really did enjoy the book, it didn't quite live up to that first kind of reading session where I was just drinking it all and really enjoying it. So Monkey Grip follows the story of Nora, who is a single mother, and her kind of turbulent relationship with a man named Javo. Javo is a junkie who's kind of on a constant cycle of drug use and then trying to go straight and then drug use, and so that really has a big effect on their relationship, and it's very much kind of free relationships at this stage. So they're into communal living, and like I said, there's a lot of drug use through this, and you know, maybe today we'll be sleeping with that person and then we'll be sleeping with that person who's got a partner, but it's not a big deal. So it's kind of this really free and easy lifestyle that makes having a serious relationship quite difficult. The title, Monkey Grip, is referring to the relationship between Nora and Javo and the fact that they're kind of really pulling away from one another, but the further they pull, the tighter the monkey grip, and so they can't quite let each other go. My first impression of this is so Australian. So reading this, just, I don't know, there's something about it that's just so quintessentially Australian, and I can't necessarily put my finger on it. It's not just the place names that I recognise, and it's not just the dialogue, there's just something that was so Australian, and it should be something that's quite removed from me because, one, I don't live in 1970s Australia, I am not at all into drug culture, communal living, free love, none of that is at all close to my lifestyle, but there's just something so relatably Australian about it. I think too the fact that it's set in summer at the start, so the start of the novel's talking a lot about, you know, brown baked bodies and lazing by the pool and the heat. I think that is the part that really captured that Australianness, that I really felt that part, especially since we're in summer at the moment, although it hasn't been too hot yet, but it's getting there. There's very little plot in this. It's very much kind of things that happened, and so we don't get any backstory for a lot of things. It's just kind of this character's introduced and we're talking about this character and la, but there's no kind of introduction of characters or any backstory for characters or even for Nora herself. We do know some things that have happened in the past and some things are alluded to, but there isn't, it's just kind of very much in the moment of this kind of happened and this kind of happened and then we went here and this person said that, and very sparse in that regard. And I think the style really captures kind of the aimlessness of their lifestyle. It is quite an interesting style. I think it works for the characters and for the story or lack of story that it's telling. I think maybe it's not for everybody and it might be a little bit confusing. Certainly if you like something that is plot driven and they're the only kinds of books that you read, I wouldn't recommend this to you because it's not plot driven at all. There was a movie adaptation of this that I looked up after finishing it, and the main character of Nora is played by Noni Hazelhurst. Now Noni Hazelhurst was a presenter in a beloved children's program in Australia, Play School, for a number of years and through the era that I was growing up. So the fact that when I start thinking about all the sex and all the drug use and all the, my childhood kind of revolts slightly there, and it doesn't compute at all. I can't quite imagine. I know Noni Hazelhurst has done some different roles, but I'm having a little bit of trouble gelling the character of Nora with so many childhood days watching Play School. All in all, I really did enjoy this, and it was a wonderful start to my Booktube Recommends project. And thank you so much to Sophie for recommending this one to me. I'm so pleased that I finally read something by Helen Garner. So there's some very incoherent thoughts about my reading of Monkey Grip. I don't know whether I've come out with anything at all useful in this rambling, but we will see when I come to the editing process. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!